Yeah, hello. My name is Riley Peck. I am the once in a lifetime species coordinator in for the state of Utah in our big game program. This is my first time attending this meeting. I'm excited to be here. Uh, I was, enjoy meeting with people face to face, and so this, as it is for everybody, this virtual platform is wonderful and a great opportunity. But I thought I would take just a minute to introduce myself. I hope to see you all in future meetings and get to know each other as I work in this capacity. I have worked with the Division of Wildlife for almost 15 years in different capacities as a district biologist and a wildlife manager. And now, as I coordinate the Bighorn sheep program throughout the state, I get to enjoy them for many different reasons. And I'm excited to be here. I hope to get to know you guys as we move along, but please don't hesitate to reach out when I see you in a future meeting and introduce yourself. I'm excited for this process. Moving along, into our Bighorn sheep status report, we manage our herds or our sheep as 16 different herds. And we, over the last few years, or since we last reported, have not had any major expansions and luckily have not had any major retractions. We have made some pretty good headway on some of the populations that we've introduced in the past. Our Mineral Mountain desert herd seem to be growing and doing well. And our Californias on our Oak Creek Mountains also are doing well. So those are the most recent expansions. I know we're here just to specifically talk about the deserts, but both of those are doing well in Utah, and we're excited to see those moving forward and producing in a manner that we expected that they would. Our statewide trend is looking up, is positive. You can see that over the last 20 years or so, we have a slight increasing trend in our desert populations as we are managing for slightly over 2,600 animals statewide, and trending up across most of our populations, not just the recently introduced Mineral Mountain population. We continue our health monitoring and management efforts on our sheep across the entire state. This last year, on a capture project that we have, trying to move some of our Pine Valley population to the minerals to supplement those, we did detect and see that they were MOV positive. That is not fantastic news. We are hopeful that it will not be as devastating as others, as reported previously when we did have the disease event on Zion in 2018. We haven't seen the large die-offs or the negative impacts on that herd that certainly are possible or have the potential. So we are hoping that it may be something similar, as those populations are somewhat close to each other, or the closest neighboring populations. In 2020, we did a complete profile to continue with our rotation and put out a bunch more collars and did more intensive monitoring across the state. We continued with doing testing on hunter harvest sampling and any across the Wasatch Front, or anywhere in the state for that matter, that wander and come in contact, and testing in those to do a more complete disease profile on our herds. And so far, we are getting a better idea of what exists in the state and where we have area for concern. Last time we reported, we talked about our management plan, and I just wanted to give you a quick update. So far, our removal of bighorns by livestock operators has been going as good as we could have hoped for. Those livestock operators have kept in contact with us, and to date, we have not had many single digits of those animals being removed from those livestock operators. Most of the time, the division catches those, and we're able to get on those a little bit quicker, and the operators haven't had to use that tool. But that has been something that's been going well. We've continued to work with the governor's office and signing MOUs with some of the operators and some of our federal agencies, and we are We have one in place for our statewide sheep, and we are working on some specifically in other locations of the state to deal with those herds. One of the areas that we reported on that was our fenced nursery herd, or the desire to create one for our deserts, a nursery herd that may better enhance our needs in the state. And deserts have been an issue of concern for us for sure. To date, the location has been difficult for us to find. We had multiple locations we were hopeful of this year that most recently turned up and led us into a dead end. And so now we're back to the drawing board. We do have some other really high potential areas. And we are hopeful that by the end of this summer, we are ready to move desert sheep into a nursery herd area. And part of this, I put this bullet in. Part of it is that our relationships with leadership in these areas and different stakeholders continue to increase and is going to help us with our nursery herd. Part of that issue has also been we needed to create a quarantine facility. So when we do capture sheep, we have a place to hold them to see and test them, see if they're negative before we put them back out. And that is currently in the process of being built. So we are excited for that advancement. Our desire, the popularity of Bighorn sheep in the state continue to grow. As you can see, we do see a continual increase of not only people putting in for points, but putting in for an opportunity to hunt. Our success rate stays really high in the top 90s over the last few years, as you would expect with a once in a lifetime species. And we, as of 2018, we have seen a 25% increase, as expected, or as similar to other species in our state. The quarantine or pandemic has brought on a renewed interest in hunting and getting out of field. And I think that 2020, we saw that bump again, even after the increase in 2019, that a lot of these tags are more sought after and a lot of people are trying to get outdoors and experience these animals. And so we have seen quite an increase over the last few years and attribute that to the desire to get outside and to see and witness these animals in their natural landscape. And with that, that is all I have for you today, and would be happy to take any questions. Thank you.